Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about and address a question that was sent in to me by a viewer asking, Zach, what are some really good books that you would recommend for the Homestead? What do you recommend? What should you have? What are some absolutely necessary books that you would have on the Homestead? And I definitely have some answers for that. There's some books that I go to, or some books that I definitely want to have on hand. If I need to go to them, I have them. And so that's what I was going to do today, is show you the things I've used, the things we've used over the years, things I absolutely definitely want to have on the Homestead in case the knowledge contained within them is needed. And it might give you an idea of some things maybe you want to look up for your own benefit to have on your homestead to help you along. Especially, usually this question comes up when people are worried about the grid going down. What if I couldn't get on Google anymore? If Google went down and you couldn't go to Google for all of your answers anymore, for whatever information you seek, what would you do? What kind of books would you like to have on hand, if that ever happened? Well, these are some of those books. So we're going to go through those today. The first one, and these are in no real particular order. Some of these books I've had for a long time. Some of these books I've gotten recently. But either way, they just contain a lot of knowledge. And some of these books, I'll say, cover a wide variety of other such books that I have, meaning that a book like this and others like it have provided a lot of knowledge, and we continue to turn for those books for that knowledge. Let's just go ahead and get started. First one first, this one here. So I got this back in 2012, I think, maybe. I bought this. Nurse's Drug Guide. They come up with a new one every single year. So this is 2009. And the reason I have this on the Homestead is because it does contain a lot of valuable information. They update it every single year, which makes the old ones come online quite a bit because people are always upgrading the new ones and they're getting rid of the old ones. And that makes them accessible to you. And normally I think these are pretty expensive. Yeah. So brand new. This book, marked at Lee College Bookstore, wherever that is like $40. It says $39. $39 is the price tag on there. So they're not cheap. But see, when you get them new, if you get them old, and there's not a lot that changes in them year after year, most of the information year after year is contained with them is the same. And so when someone first turned me onto this book as an information resource, they said, replace it every 10 years. So I'm about due. I'd like to get an updated copy of maybe getting something like a 2017, 2016 or whatever, just bring it a little more up to date. But a lot of the information contained within is about the same, especially the main reason why I bought this, and that was for antibiotics. So you can buy fish antibiotics, animal antibiotics, and basically they all work the same, but you need to know dosages. And so you need to know, how much of the antibiotic is contained within the antibiotic you're using, and this is a great helpful guide for that. So fish antibiotics are pretty widely available. We have those. You can get them from basically a lot of resources online. So people ask, if I needed antibiotics for some reason, where would I get it? If I didn't go to a doctor. Okay, fish antibiotics or other animal antibiotics are something that a lot of people turn to. But how are you going to administer those? Do you know? What if you got something that required antibiotics? Great resource. So we have that on hand. It's just helpful information that you may need to know someday. Another book that is widely acclaimed on homesteads all across our great nation is this right here, the Foxfire Books. So I have part of the series. I think it's like a 12, maybe it's even 24 book series. I'm not sure, but they're kind of thick books, and I have like 1 through 6, I think. So just an unbelievable amount of information. They're no longer in print, I don't believe, right? Leave a comment below. Let me know if they're still in print. I don't think they are. Maybe they are. But unbelievable amounts of information in here. Lots of pictures. All kinds of great pictures. Oh, this guy put some notes in here. I was gifted this first 6 books of the Foxfire book by Master Gardener. I did that video on him, the Master Gardener, where I went over to his house and looked at his garden. amazing garden, and he gifted me these. He was moving out. They had some health problems, and so he was moving out of where he was living and moving closer into their family, and so he was downsizing, and he had a bunch of books, and he called me up and said, "Would you like these?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I drove all the way into town, Fayetteville, like an hour and a half away, whatever it was, to go get these books because they're hard to get. Anyway, the Foxfire Books. If you can find them, grab them. I think they're usually pretty hard to come by. Unless I don't think they're in print anymore. And if they are in print, they're probably expensive. So grab them if you can get them. Next book here, this one I've turned to a number of times, The Nature Doctor. This book here has got a lot of great information, completely new and revised edition. I don't know if this one was printed back. I think I was gifted this as well. This is originally printed in 1952. This one's the updated version, 1991. So it may have even been updated since then. All kinds of interesting things about natural ways to treat all kinds of ailments. All kinds of ailments. Great resource. Pretty thick book. All kinds of stuff in there. Can be very, very helpful. So there's that. I got to put some of these on the floor because they're going to start falling down. Another very helpful book. This is one of Jamie's favorites. Was Nourishing Traditions. Okay, and I had to. By the way, if you're wondering, I had to put in this back cloth here because if I used the green screen, some of these books, especially this one here, you'd be able to see through most of it. So because that yellow is kind of like greenish yellow, and so it just sees right through it. Anyway, Nourishing Traditions, amazing resource. Again, really thick book, great resource. This is where she got all of her information originally on how to begin a starter in your home when it comes to sourdough bread. Lots of amazing recipes in here. If you're looking for a recipe book, there's none better than you could get like this right here. It's got so much good stuff in it. So, yeah, all kinds of great stuff. Nourishing Traditions. Now, I thought this was Weston A. Price, but I went to look at it, and I don't see anything on here that says Weston A. Price. Am I not right? Someone leave a comment below on that too. Because there was a book that she had by the Weston A. Price Foundation that was something that I looked for that. I couldn't find it. But is that Weston A. Price? I didn't see anything on it that says Weston A. Price. So I know Weston A. Price puts out a lot of good information when it comes to healthy foods and things like that. So, yeah, it says New Trends Publishing. It doesn't say Weston A. Price. So clarify that. I don't think that's Weston A. Price. Anyway, great resource. We have it here. I have to, even since Jamie's been gone, I've turned to this for a couple of tidbits of information I knew were in here I needed to find. So we use this often because now I'm the cook. I'm cooking everything. This next book kind of encompasses a lot of different things. Basically a variety of books that you could have when it comes to history. And one of the best ways to learn is to learn history. I have always said, and Jamie and me both had the same philosophy, is that the number one subject you teach your children in school should always be history. Because throughout history, you learn the mistakes and the successes of others, and that helps you to succeed. And so, Women of the West, this is one of those books. Women of the West, amazing resource of how people lived, the way they did things off-grid, the way they did things on a homestead, filled with pictures, filled with writings and experiences of others. And guys, you can learn so much from the experiences of others. Just so many details of how people lived and the things they went through, the experiences. The book is filled with pictures and knowledge in history. And so we have lots of books like this. Because they're so valuable. And whenever she would go to a sale somewhere and she would come across a book like this filled with this kind of information, she would snag it. And usually they're cheap. Usually they're, about $1.50. You can get books like this and they're just full of so much great info. So Women of the West, that was something she had on display even because she liked it so much. So I'm going to go put that back on the shelf when I'm done here. These next two books were given to me by some friends of ours who came to visit us during the fall for our Sukkot camp out. And I have found them to be amazingly valuable. and they are expensive. They're very expensive. I looked them up, and it was the Helms family. Thank you again for these. They gifted me these. It's this one here, Herbal Extracts. Build better health with liquid herbs. And it's got so much great information and all of the different herbs out there, medicinal herbs and things you can get. All of their uses, medicinally are listed here, how to prepare them, so many things, each one with great pictures and just so much valuable information. Just amazing, amazing. So this is a must-have on our homestead. I have turned to it many times. Many of the liquid extracts, they even gifted me those, and I'm going to make sure I keep them in stock, and I've even started taking some of them, so thank you for that. But totally amazing resource. This next one, too, also, they gave us Herbal Extracts, supplement to the copyrighted work, so basically this book goes with that book, and again, it's full of just great information of different herbs, and all their uses, how to prepare them, things like that. Just amazing resource. So this book, I think it's by Dr. A.B. Howard. It's just Herbal Extracts. These books are not cheap. You might find deals out there, but I think to get both of these books, you're going to spend about $300, give or take, maybe $200, but expensive, which to me is just, when I found out, and they gifted these to me, I was just floored that they did that. I was overwhelmed with gratitude to that family because I just see the value in that information so much. So this also is a really good one, How to Grow More Vegetables. Great resource, book written by John Jeavons, and just all kinds of great diagrams in here as well. All kinds of information on how to get soil fertility where you want it to. For a gardener, this would be a great book for you to learn a lot. Learn by other people's experiences. Now, when it comes to gardening, there's so many variables. What works for you may not work for the guy even down the street. I'm being that serious with you. It depends on varieties, depends on the exact soil makeup that you have, what condition that soil is that you're growing in. Is it the same condition? Because mostly, like I had to immediately start conditioning my soil when I moved here. And so, the soil between me and the guy down the road may be completely different. So there's so many variables, pest pressures, temperature variances, all of that stuff. It all makes a difference. So, but this can give you a head start. It can give you knowledge. It can give you a foundation of knowledge based on someone else's experience. So very good book. I highly recommend it. I've used it, turned to it a number of times when I needed to learn information or look up something. So great stuff. How to Grow More Vegetables. Great. Okay, this one too. I got two more. This one too, Butchering. I was gifted this book by a friend of mine, Patricia, who I've spoken about often on this channel. She's my favorite hippie liberal. And I know why she gave me the book, because I don't think she's ever killed an animal in her life, even though she has all kinds of animals. So, I know she has, but she doesn't like it. Anyway, so she gave me this book. I think she gave me this book. Maybe it was Bob who gave me this book. I'm forgetting now. A friend of mine, Bob, may have given this book to me. I'm not sure. It's either Patricia or Bob who gave me the book. Anyway, amazing color photos in here. All detailed information on how to butcher an animal. If you want to know how to butcher a chicken, you want to know how to butcher a cow, you want to know how they all come apart, all the details are right in this book. It's a fantastic book, very thick resource, full of color pictures, very detailed, very, very detailed. The Comprehensive Photographic Guide to Human Slaughtering. Humane Slaughtering and Butchering. Humane Slaughtering and Butchering. Highly recommend the book. I know how to butcher really well, but it's a great resource for me to have in the homestead in case it comes across something I don't know. I can look it up. It's very detailed. Or I can share it with you guys and have it as a resource to, send you out to find something where you might need to find more information in. So there you go. Last one is this. Now, this may not apply to a lot of you. I understand that there are people in this world that don't have the intestinal fortitude to do some things. Butchering an animal is one of those things. Some people just can't find it inside themselves to do that. And really, it comes with time and skill to learn how to do things like butchering an animal. But some people just can't get past the emotional discomfort of that process. And primarily, it's my opinion that you've seen too many Disney movies if that is the case. But for some people, I understand that may just be an issue. So likewise, when it comes to combat with another human being, there are strategies, there are methods, tactics that you can use to better yourself and be aware of if you need to engage in that sort of activity at any given point in time in the future, whatever, right? So there is a set of books. There's a lot of different books that are written on this topic, but the one I recommend the most, or any book, I have a number of his books, H.J. Poole, The Last 100 Yards. Fantastic book. If you're looking for more information in that arena, these are the books I would turn to. The Last 100 Yards by Bill Lind and H.J. Poole. Lot of great tactical information, skirmish information, strategic information when it comes to doing placements or different tactics when moving in the field, things like that with a small group of soldiers. Okay, so great resource to have. I studied this extensively years back, and I think it's a great resource. I keep it with me, and I have a number of his other books as well. So if you're into that sort of thing and you want to learn more, that'd be the book to get, The Last 100 Yards. That's really it. I mean, there's other books. There's other books like within the realms of the topics of these books that I have also. I mean, to bring out our entire library, I have to bring out, hundreds and hundreds of books out here to share with you. But those, if I was to pick, I went through and I'm like, okay, which are the books that I could talk about that I absolutely would never want to give up? And those books come to mind first. But there are many like them that I have. When it comes to information, you learn best by experience. You can read all the books in the world. You've watched all the videos in the world. You can have the best person who's the most experienced describe every aspect of what it is you're trying to learn to you. But until you actually do it yourself, you're not going to learn anything. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to offend you, but you really need to get out there and do it yourself. Learn by doing. Okay. The only way you learn stuff like this is to do it. The only way you learn stuff like this, gardening, is to do it. The only way you learn stuff like this is to do it. Okay? Get out there and do it. Hope that helps. Hope that's been helpful to you guys. Leave a comment below if you have anything to say about any of these things. Also about the Weston A. Price thing. I know, maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button before you go. I really appreciate it. That lets YouTube know that I'm not such a scumbag, and they really think I'm a scumbag. So hit that like button for me. I really, really appreciate it before you go. And also, we're going to be doing more live streams. If you want to tune into our live streams, make sure you hit that bell notification. It doesn't necessarily mean that YouTube's going to let you know when I go live, because they hate us. They hate our guts. But, it may happen. They may happen if they feel good that day to let you know that we're going to live stream if we have one planned. So hit that bell notification. We really appreciate you do that as well. And leave a comment below if anything has struck your fancy that you want to talk about, and I'll try to reply. And otherwise, if I don't, somebody else may come along and they can reply. So, all right, guys. See you next time on the Homestead. Love you all. And check out the sponsor at the end of the video. Bye. Hey, guys. I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more.
It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.